Well, hello, welcome back to another stream in our Maserati series. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Stephen. How's it going? Hope you're both well on this fine Tuesday. And yes, as I say, welcome back then to another live stream in this Maserati series, already race 7. So if you're already aware of this season or series, which one? I don't know, series. You'll be aware that we're only doing 20 races. So yeah, in another 3 races or so, we'll already be at the halfway stage. But we are today arriving in Monaco, and it can always be a little bit hit and miss, Monte Carlo, but as I mentioned in the last stream, last time we raced at Monaco, which is in our Team Lotus series, it was absolute epic. There was 4 red flags, crashes everywhere, and a lot of drama, and we kinda want the same thing here today, but not our drivers, because if there's a bit of drama in front of us, who knows, we might actually be able to sneakily grab a point or 2. Maloney's going to start in 15th, Colapinto 17th, so that's kind of where we are. We're off the back of the grid now, and we've moved up a couple of places, so we're slowly and steadily improving the car. But is there going to be a sneaky chance of points today? We're going for a 2-stopper. You'd probably think Monaco is a 1-stopper, but for some reason you lose in terms of time. It's so significant around here. So we are going to go for a 2-stopper. It's same compounds, but we're starting on the mediums with Colapinto, then going to the softs, then finishing on the softs. Maloney starting on the softs, then he's switching to the mediums, then finishing on the softs. So they're using the same compounds throughout their 2-stop, but just in a different order. So Colapinto will go longer in that first stint, Maloney a little bit shorter, so Colapinto due in lap 31, Colapinto lap 24. And yeah, we'll see how we go. My only concern with this race is we survived Jeddah, to be fair, but being young drivers, they can make mistakes. And obviously, if we make a mistake around here, it's going to cost us. So we want other drivers making a mistake and our drivers to keep it nice and clean round here. But I hope you're all doing well in the chat. Hope you had a good weekend since we last spoke. The Formula 1 was a little bit of a snooze fest, wasn't it, unfortunately, around Suzuka. So, yeah, and I didn't have... I had 2 McLarens on the podium, but I didn't have Max. So, yeah, really good drive from Max. Really good Saturday from Max. Great pole lap for him, to be fair. And, yeah, just no overtakes to be seen, was there, in Suzuka. So it was a bit of a snooze fest on Sunday. But let's hope this one here in the virtual world in Monaco is not going to be a snooze fest. Let's crack on then and see how we go.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
Right, here we go then.
We're
Gotta
here
keep
at
it
the
nice and
streets are
clean
abuzz
around
at
here.
the Monaco Grand Prix.
3 lights in, 4, 5, and
lights
underway.
out.
As
And away
Verstappen
we
starts
go.
on pole, Hamilton second, the 2 championship leaders first and second, but Hamilton's losing a pace off the start there. Maloney and Colapinto look like they're potentially up a place. And we are into 14th and 16th briefly. There's Colapinto. And Maloney, Colapinto 16th. He dropped to 17th again, but he looks like he's in 16th. And it all settles down. What you will see is a special livery here today as well. So we're not in our usual Maserati livery. We are running a different livery here. Different colour scheme, as you can see. So you'll have to let me know in the chat what you think of this one. But yeah, a special one-off livery. As Maloney is flying past cars here. What's going on here? Maloney absolutely flying nearly into the side pods of Lawson there. Colapinto back to 17th, but Maloney... Look at what happened here. He just got a slingshot through the tunnel. Absolute mega speed from Maloney there. And he is past Lawson. What's going on with tyres then? Okay, they're on the mediums.
You're doing a good job with the
And
moment.
we're on the softs, so... That's fine.
Yeah, that's and
Yeah, this is the livery for today's race, so very different for us.
either you is out.
So let me know what you make of that. And man, what is this? This seems interesting. It's F1 Manager 24. Right, Maloney then into P12. Colapinto's got a bit bogged down. He's behind Kimi Antonelli, who has started far down here. But Maloney has made up, what, 3 places
Try to pull down as much as possible.
on that opening lap. Maya, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. So that's an absolute mega start here. Verstappen has pulled 3 seconds on Hamilton. He is on a softer compound tyre on the medium, but that's a hell of a start from Verstappen. Right, Maloney having a look now then at Alex Albon. Can we make another move here? Should have some DRS available to us. We have, but Albon looks to be a little bit too far up the road now. Tyler, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. It's been a good little start for Maloney, but we are 2-stopping, and it's whether the rest of the grid is 2-stopping or 1-stopping here. Colapinto is it's not really working for him though. He's in classic Monaco, bogged down behind traffic. So Verstappen leads, Russell second, Hamilton third. Matthew, is this the F1 Manager 25 mod? Yes, it is. When did the new season start? I've missed loads, need to catch up. We started the Maserati series about a couple of weeks ago. So this is the 7th race. I think we've got about 3 episodes out on YouTube. Tyler, I like the F1 livery, it's quite cool. Yeah, this is not our usual livery, so we're running a special livery here today in Monaco. This is what we've gone with. I wanted to go red for it, but I didn't want to look too much like a Ferrari. Colapinto, let's go high on the overtakes here. Although he's got Bortoletto on him, and Hulkenberg's kind of sharpened into the distance. So not working too well for Colapinto. And Maloney is falling off the DRS to Albon as well, so... Let's see how we go. Verstappen still leads over Russell. When are we due to stop? So lap 24 with Maloney, lap 31 with Colapinto. If you're jumping into the stream, if you haven't already, do smash that like button. Really helps me out. And let me know, did you happen to enjoy the Snooze Fest on Sunday in Suzuka? That was certainly a tough watch. Unless you're a Max fan, of course, you might have enjoyed it. You viewed, hello buddy, how's it going? Hope you're well. Right, Colapinto is kind of getting back up to Hulkenberg. It's going to be very tight at the front here, I think. Maloney's kind of in a bit of no man's land at the moment. Tyler, what is your favourite race on the F1 calendar? Favourite race. We've got a yellow flag. Bear with me. I think it's Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's locked up.
There. Now let's take a look here at turn 10. Well, you can see the lockup. What caused that, I wonder?
That's a big old lockup. He's pointing the wrong way, so that's handy. That's Colapinto up to P16 then, with Hulkenberg out of the way. What is my favourite race on the F1 track? It's funny because in terms of pure track, regardless of the race, Suzuka I quite like actually, that we've just had. So yeah, Suzuka and Silverstone, I think. But as we saw Sunday, Suzuka unfortunately didn't cook up a really good race. But in terms of the actual track, I think it's such a good track. It'd be a fun track to drive. I think the best race on the F1 calendar is typically normally Brazil. Brazil cooks up some real good action. Yes, I'm good. Good to hear you, Viewed. Good to hear, buddy. All right, so Colapinto 16. Can't really shake off Bortoletto, though. And you can see the problem, though, because Antonelli started low down. And he's not made any progress either. He's stuck behind Lawson. But this is, of course, Monaco. Welcome to Monaco. This is what happens. And we're, of course, going to try a two-stop around here, which seems a bit odd, but I don't know if most of the grid are two-stopping, because Albon's took 80%, took 20% out of his medium, so yeah, we'll wait and see on that. Understand, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. But yeah, I was disappointed in McLaren over the weekend. They just seemed to, as a McLaren fan, they just seemed happy to take second and third. They didn't really try to throw anything at Max. They weren't really aggressive with Lando trying an undercut. They didn't think, well, should we try a bit of an overcut? If they went for an overcut, Piastri would have got Lando, but they could have said to Oscar that, you know, we're trying the overcut to take it to Max, so, you know, Lando should have had right of passage to come in first, so they could have said to him, look, we're going to let you box first, but we want you to let Lando through to fight Max. They didn't try that. And also they didn't try to release Piastri. It looked a lot quicker. I mean, the argument there might have been, well, if Piastri can't overtake Lando, how's he going to overtake Max? But at least you could have said to Piastri, to Lando, well, we want to let Piastri have a go on Max, try and win this race. Give him 5 laps, don't happen, then swap back. But you know, another counter argument to that is Lando and Oscar are in a championship battle themselves, and they might have just been free to race, and it is what it is. But just don't feel McLaren went all out to win that race, which is a bit disappointing. Maloney, I nearly said Maldonado. There we go. Maloney is within the DRS of Albon again. Colapinto still hasn't shrugged off Bortoletto. Suzuka is a good track, but it should be in my mind the final race always used to produce bangers. I mean, I've seen a lot of talk this week about people saying the tracks need to change and all of this. It's not the tracks, it's the cars. You know, these tracks used to produce such good races, but the cars are so big, heavy, terrible in dirty air. That's the problem. It's not the tracks.
Tires update.
Feel quite good.
Right, Maloney has got DRS on Albon. He can't quite make it work. Hoodsie BMW, thanks for the follow. Butcher Dab, thanks for the follow, buddy. Do you know you're in the red zone for the tyre temperature? Tyre temps are okay. We're with fuel with Maloney. We're burning off a lot of fuel with Maloney at the moment, but that's fine. We'll get that back later in the race, Tyler. Let it tick over to 1, and then we'll calm down on that.
Use overtake.
Copy.
Yeah, bring back V10 engines. Yeah, I'd love that. I was watching some of the racing the other day in the 90s, and just the slipstream power and just the overtakes they could do is so much better than what we've got now. But Formula One's always had a bit of peak and troughs. There have been some, you know, even in the early 2000s, there was some really bad years boring racing. So
Copy.
it's hard. It's a hard one to juggle. But yeah, I just think the issue is the cars rather than the tracks. What's the tyre strategy? It's a two-stopper, Colapinto, lap 31, then going to softs. He can switch, obviously, to a hard if we need him to go one stop. Maloney is locked in for the two-stopper because he's started on softs. He's going to stop lap 24. I thought we might be the only ones two-stopping, but as I say, Maloney's used less tyre life than a few cars ahead of him. So I think most of the grid, well, some of the grid at least, are two-stopping as well. Hurricane, thanks for the follow. Danny, evening, buddy. How's it going? And if you're in the stream, you haven't already, do smash that like button. Super appreciated. Antonelli has now made some progress, so he's going to be on Maloney shortly, which is going to be harder to defend. We want a bit of action. As I say, my main thing here is drivers just to keep it clean. Don't make any mistakes. Don't put it in the wall, which is always a risk with young drivers. And obviously not the perfect car at the moment. But what we do want is a few cars ahead of us to put it in the wall. That would be very nice indeed. Sneaky chance of points around Monaco if we have some drama. As I say, last time we raced here with Team Lotus, there was 4 red flags. Nothing as yet.
Albon in front.
You viewed, yeah, the V12s in Senna McLaren's days when the McLaren used to be heavier. It used to go like the clappers. All good, mate. We'll head over to Twitch now. No worries, buddy. Lennon, thanks for the follow. I guess that's you, Danny, switching over. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I just always think, you know, the Hakkinen overtake on Schumacher on the back marker, just the speed they built up going down there, that just wouldn't happen today. Even with DRS, it's just so, it gets so much turbulence and draggy and dirty air. It's just crap, isn't it, at the end of the day? Johnny B, thanks for the follow. Lotus team content was amazing on YouTube. Thanks, Lennon, buddy. Right, Maloney, as we said, Antonelli has caught up, started out of position, Antonelli, so he's going to be pretty difficult to keep behind. He's dragging Gasly with him as well, which is a bit frustrating, but let's see if we can keep Kimi at bay, frustrate him. He's on the hard, so Kimi probably is a one-stopper. Maloney's got a little bit of tyre life we can play with. Hulkenberg dead last now after that lockup. Has he stopped? No, he hasn't stopped, but he's right at the back. Francisco, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. You viewed, you kind man, with another super sticker. Thanks, buddy. Loving the hippo. Too kind, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, one-off livery for us today in Monaco. And I quite like it, to be fair. Reminds me a bit more of an Alfa Romeo it's kind of ended up. But here we go. Kimi all over us. Zoo, is this practice one? I'm still learning about F1. No, we're in the full race here. Yeah, the only issue is Kimi Antonelli's dragged Gasly with him, which we didn't want to see. But Maloney is frustrating Antonelli. We've seen Maloney's had quite good defensive skills before in this, well, early stage of his career with Maserati. Seems to be a plus point for him. What's Gasly on? Medium, 68%. Albon's really tearing up those mediums, but so is Sainz, so is Sonoda. So a few medium runners are going to have to pit pretty early, or they're going to have to start nursing the tyres, which might allow us to catch up with them. And you're welcome, mate. Thank you, buddy. Super appreciated. But yeah, Suzuka was certainly a snooze fest, but I do think we'll get a good race in Bahrain. It does seem to suit the modern F1 car. Max, so do you just watch the race in this game? Yeah, it's a manager game, so you basically manage tyre life, fuel, ERS, and strategy. So you manage your two drivers. A bit like Football Manager, but in the F1 world. Essentially, it's just a manager game. Right, here we go. Kimi Antonelli behind us again. As we know, very difficult to overtake. Ooh, well, Alonso's got a mechanical fault. Is this going to be a Crofty replay or Fernando telling us?
I cannot go full throttle. Very, very stiff.
Oh, Alonso's very, very stiff. What she said, Fernando. That's pretty cool. Different vibe from F1 24. So Fernando Alonso's got some issues in the car. That might be good later in the race. Where is Fernando? It's not showing up yet because he's not crossed the line. We are very much frustrating Kimi Antonelli. Colapinto is just about out of the DRS of Bortoleto. Bortoleto down to 53% on hards. A lot of these drivers taking out tyre life, so wait and see on that. This is costing Kimi Antonelli a lot of time. Albon's pulled 4 seconds on Maloney there. Well, there in the last few laps. We were in his DRS a few laps ago, but not anymore. And here comes Kimi Antonelli again. But dare I say, it's going to be the same result. Maloney is just covering him off well here. Zane Maloney beat Colapinto last time out, and he might be doing the same here today. And Nay, thanks for the follow. So Maloney slowly growing into his Formula 1 seat. And so far, this is the 7th race in. Obviously, he did have that accident where he torpedoed Hulkenberg. But so far, no reason to think about replacing either driver for next year. Let's just hope we haven't cursed them here around Monaco. Verstappen still leads, got 3-second buffer. Hamilton's fallen to P6. It is Hamilton in the lead of this championship, then Verstappen. So Verstappen will gain big on him at this rate, but Hamilton is running the hards on the first stint. So is Leclerc, so Hamilton's not had great pace. Very tight at the front though. Only 6.5 seconds separates the top 6, and then a bit of a gap to Fernando. That's what we were going to look at, weren't we? Fernando's issue. So Fernando's issue is an engine issue, as he alluded to on the radio.
Yep.
I have seen replays for one issue and the game not corresponding with it, so I always like to check. So he's got an engine issue, Fernando, so he might be slow, especially if that gets worse. And Maloney continues to frustrate. Yeah, this mod seems to be glitching the cars out of certain elements, which is a bit frustrating, but it's fine.
Started to drop off a little bit.
Can't we get on hards and get a tyre delta at the end on SOS that we can push on them? Potentially, but I'm quite happy with what Maloney's doing at the moment, to be fair. I think he's putting in good work at the moment. He's in 12th. It only takes a couple to have an accident in front of us for us to have a sneaky chance of a point, so don't want to risk it just yet with him. Colapinto is just kind of not really doing much though, but again, we're going to see some pit stops in a minute. Hadjar actually down to 32% on medium, Tsunoda 37%, Albon 40%. So next 3 laps, we're going to see a lot of pit stop activity. Maloney's lap 24, so he's got 7 laps. We'll have a tiny bit of tyre delta at the end of this stint on the soft, so we'll be able to attack with Maloney at that point. Antonelli getting ever closer though. Almost on season 2 of the Lotus team. Want to watch them, going to watch Maserati, but your team doing well here. Good stuff, Len. Yeah, plenty of episodes in that Team Lotus series. I think we, It's down about 74 in the end. There may be some bonus Team Lotus episodes coming in the future, just as and when I get time to carry that journey on into a full season, but the main series now is obviously Maserati. We have got a one-off Flip the Grid series coming. I've already started that. I'm not live streaming that, but that'll be a series that we drop. So essentially we're taking the 2024 Constructors finishing order and swapping the drivers. So Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are in the Kick Sauber, Bortoleto and Hulkenberg are in the McLaren, and vice versa all the way down the grid. So Sainz is back in a Ferrari with Albon, Leclerc and Hamilton in the Williams, and we'll play out the season and see how that all unfolds. So as I say, I've done episode 1 of that, but I'll be dropping that on the channel at some point in the next month or two. Alright, Hadjar is the first to pit. Kimi Antonelli must be getting very annoyed. Albon down to 35%, so he's not going to be too far away. Yeah, next lap, maybe the end of this lap, there's going to be quite a few pit stops. Bortoleto's dropped 7 seconds back on Colapinto now. So Colapinto is finding a bit of pace, which is nice to see. Our slow team in fast cars like that. Don't understand that one, Lennon. Another idea for a third Red Bull team, Califat Toro Rojo? Or Rojo?
Tires okay.
Or Rojo. That is Red Bull in Spanish, and what I hope Red Bull would buy HRT. Oh, and Antonelli is finally getting the opportunity. It looks like this time Maloney's going to try and fight it, but Kimi Antonelli has finally got that done. We kept him at bay for quite a while there, though. Did anyone else jump into the pits while that was unfolding? No, not yet. Just a potential strategy plan B. Yeah, definitely, definitely. As in slower drivers in faster cars. Yeah, so yeah, we'll have it'll be quite a mix-up of the grid, so we'll see how that pans out. Right, Hulkenberg does pit right at the back. He's having a bit of a struggle. The idea of beating the other two Red Bulls, yeah, I like it. Maybe an idea is to bring another energy drink brand in, Uviewed. To take it to Red Bull.
Yeah, copy.
Right, Maloney is suddenly under pressure from Lawson, and Sonoda's into the pits. Oh no, we've got engine wear. Oh no, our engine is down to 25%. That's not good. Lucas moved from Twitch. Thanks for the gift, buddy. Hate Monaco, to be honest. Yeah, it's not the best. Sometimes it can bring some good races. I know what we haven't done here. We haven't switched out our parts. We've made a schoolboy error here, and we haven't switched out our parts from practice. So our parts are getting very worn out here, which is mean we're not going to have much pace. So we've got to just kind of survive here. Hope for some magic in front of us, but we look like we might be struggling here. What are your predictions for Bahrain? Ooh, Bahrain. I feel it's going to be easier to overtake at Bahrain. I still feel McLaren the team to beat, but you can't rule out Max. So I'll go for a Lando win, Oscar second, Max Verstappen third. Right, Sainz and Albon in.
Everything is ready.
And we managed to attack on these tyres now.
Mode race.
Monaco needs an edit from the casino. Go around the roundabout and down the tunnel from there instead of a slow corner. Yeah, I don't know what... I don't
Down
really
in the
know
pits.
how much you can
Oh, that's
do
a
with
slow one.
Monaco, to be honest with you, as Albon's had a pit stop issue, which is good for us. So we're double stacking with Sainz and can't get the left front on there. Sassy Albon. Albon's been very sassy on the radio so far this year, hasn't he? Quite like it though. Doing big things. Oh no, now Colapinto's got an engine problem. Oh dear, it's all going wrong for us. Yeah, I'd say not sure what you can do too much with Monaco. I think it's another track where, you know, the cars have evolved beyond the track, unfortunately. Should Ferrari put their resources in for 2026 now? It's still early, I think. I think they'll know what upgrades they've got potentially coming to the car, and they can judge how significant they are. But yeah, if they don't feel they can match the pace of McLaren, then you may as well go full out for 2026. But I think they'll see how these next two races go, and then the next two following that. If you're 7-8 races in and it's looking like you can't battle for the championship, then yeah, what's the point? Williams is my favourite team. Good choice, buddy. We like a good old classic team. Right, Lawson all over Maloney there. Maloney's starting to struggle with his engine problem. Which that's on us. We run warm parts in practice to swap out for the race. And we've made a boo-boo and forgot to swap in the fresher parts. So that's going to hamper us. Right, we need to get Maloney lap 24. What's Colapinto saying now? He's got Sonoda, who's already boxed behind him. Does Colapinto try the one-stopper? Might just be worth mixing it up with Franco. I think we'll switch him to a one-stopper. As with that engine issue as well, I don't think he's going to be doing too much. Right, Maloney, let's get in. End of this lap. Get him in for his first stop of the day.
Boxes lap, boxes lap.
Cause beer in F1 with a team called Racing. A slogan when the mountains turn blue, a victory for you. You've already thought this out. About like a monster F1 team to take it to Red Bull. I'm convinced Red Bull is a drugs company. Does anyone actually drink Red Bulls and enjoy them? Maybe that's just a personal take. I just don't like a Red Bull. Worth a one stop? Yeah, I think we're switching to a one stop with Franco. Califat, you need a nice wet race like the Monaco races back in the day. Olivia Panis, 1996, anyone? Oh, some classics. Some classics, but I think it's actually, judging by a recent Formula 1, maybe it's actually in the rule book that you're not allowed to race in wets because, a bit like if you're...
I'm in the pit lane.
Here's Maloney, let's just watch this pit stop. Although we're right at the end. It's a bit like your mum if you ever had those candles that are just for display, you're never allowed to light them. That's a bit like the wet tyres in Formula 1, they're just for show, really. Alright, here we go, first stop. 2.7, that's about average for us. Maloney then. Albon had that really slow stop. Is that that's gonna cost him because we're already out. There we go, we're gonna jump Albon quite easily there with Maloney. Let's just bring these tyres up to temp.
At the moment we have P15.
But yeah, some classic wet races.
Albon behind.
Some really good ones, isn't there? At Montreal, Malaysia back in the day. FC Japan 07, yes, Silverstone 08.
You can push
Red Bull is file, yeah, exactly. Oh, Albon's got his tyres up to temp, so he is right all over us, and he's on the softs. Yeah, it's such a shame that we just don't see, you know, it's kind of like if it gets too wet, we just don't see the wet tyres hardly ever. Or if we do, it's when it's on the cusp of going to Inters, so the wets will be on for a handful of laps, and then we're straight on to Inters, which...
What's that? A pit stop issue?
Yeah, of course the track is slippery of Inters, but it's not like a full wet race. I don't know why they're so against it. The safety is improved, so... I can only think it's like a gentleman agreement that's kind of been cocked up, which is they don't want to race too much in the wet because, as we saw in Brazil, it just costs so much money because everyone's smashing the cars to bits. That's the only thing I think of, because it's just odd that we just don't see it anymore.
And remind to protect the front.
Red Bull used to be used originally with vodka, which is dangerous because vodka slows your heart down, the Red Bull speeds it up. Yeah, vodka Red Bulls are a big thing. Jaeger bombs, of course. Right, so Maloney's out in 14th. What if you just stop ahead of him? He's got to stop again, that's the only issue. And these are probably one stopping now, aren't they? So use a bit of battery out of here.
Overtake available.
Because Albon's getting closer to us. Obviously, repairs for items to the same spec should be excluded from the cap. Yeah, is the cost cap really working? I mean, it's probably working in the sense of we used to have Formula 1 teams drawing the grid and then after a year or so they're going bankrupt and out of the sport. So it's safeguard against that, I guess. But I guess the field is a little bit closer, but it's not exactly bringing surprise winners, is it? In terms of Haas competing for victories and such things. So, I don't know.
All the time you have to leave a space.
Deeb, thanks for the follow on Twitch. I look at Marussia and Minardi. Yeah, exactly. There was loads back in early 2000s. Teams coming and going. And that's hence what sort of triggered it. But it's a bit like football. Formula 1's just become more about the business than it has the racing. That's why I'm convinced they don't race in full wets, because I'm convinced it's about saving money. They don't want to be smashing the cars up.
Albon on DRS.
Right, Lawson in the pits. Maloney should be jumping him, which he does. Colapinto has still got Tsunoda behind him, but now he's through. Tsunoda obviously already stopped, and he's got Sainz behind him as well. Colapinto due to go to lap 33 now. Have you heard Liberty Media has been offered a deal by another party to buy the sport of them twice what they bought? Yeah, I can quite believe it. Hey Twitch chat, hello Deeb. Chat, is this real? It's not real racing. It's live though, it's real in the fact that it's live, but it's not actual Formula 1, it's F1 Manager 24. Right, Colapinto then, he's got a Williams all over him in Carlos Sainz, and Maloney's got another one all over him in the shape of Alex Albon. Albon on some fresh softs. Albon's definitely two-stopping.
Albon is in DRS.
I agree, the tactics are ruining the individuality in football. Same in F1, the cars are so wide and fast, there's no braking, medium speed, corners cannot go for. Thing is, you know, it's football, it's Formula 1, you know, technology, data, all of it improves, and actually it takes out the variables in motorsport or any sport, and it just makes it boring. You know, football is the same, it's all data based now, so it's, you know, we don't want you shooting from outside the box because the data shows it's X percentage likely that you won't score, or the percentages are better if we can pass, do this and do, and it's just, well, percentages aren't always, you know, data doesn't take into account certain things. No, yes, you might be less likely to score from a shot outside the box, but if you take a shot, takes deflection, you get a corner, that gets the crowd up. The crowd has an impact on the players. You know, data doesn't account for that, whereas passing it sideways and backwards for 5 minutes and you've kept the ball, but no, you know, attack on goal, just bores the crowd. So, yeah. And Formula One, a little bit different, but, you know, data, technology, and it evolves so much that they make these cars so good in terms of out-and-out speed. The teams aren't developed them to, you know, necessarily be the best cars for entertainment purposes or sports. That's where the regulations should come in, but they always find ways around the regulations. But obviously these current regs that we're in now were brought out to be so much better in dirty air, and the overtaking was going to be so much better. It's going to be I can't remember the exact percentage, like a 30, 50 or 70% reduction following cars in dirty air. And the first year seemed like it might be the case, but it's definitely not. They're just... Next year, obviously, they're going to be smaller, and there's going to be, you know... We're not going to have the DRS, but we're going to have, obviously, the engine settings and different things. So we'll see what that brings. Yeah, I mean, football's a whole nother level. I was watching some highlights from early 2000s, and just... The games are so much better. No, counter-attacks, shots from 30 yards, it's just so much more enjoyable. Right, Antonelli is finally making his first stop. Maloney's keeping Albon at bay, and he's now behind his teammate. Colapinto's going to have to get out of the way for Maloney and try to block off Albon here. This is going to be difficult to achieve. Let's see if we can do this. Colapinto. Oh, God. Don't crash, though, Franco. Right. That's it. He's got out of the way. But is Albon going to be able to get past him? No, I think we've just about managed to do that. And Albon loses out to Stroll, in fact. Right, so Colapinto, lap 34. Let's... You know us if you're here regularly. We don't normally forward on, but there's not too much happening. So let's forward on and get Colapinto in. Stroll is past Colapinto, but these have all stopped, so Colapinto will go backwards here. Oh, Maloney's making an overtake himself, getting past Pierre Gasly. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. You don't expect to see that. Zane Maloney pulling out a lovely move there.
How do you like that?
Oh, I bloody love it, Zane. Use Colapinto to defend the block. Yeah, we did have him on defend. He just didn't have the pace really there. He's at the end of his stint, so unfortunately didn't quite work. But he's still blocking off Albon. So that's going to give Maloney a nice little buffer later on in the race. And there we go, still blocks him off, so that's good. Gasly hadn't stopped, that's why, so we're now past Gasly. Maloney's into P11, he has got Stroll all over him though. Alright, let's get Colapinto in. Right, Maloney is on always defend. Alright, here comes Franco then. This should be his one and only stop here. .5, that's a pretty good stop for where we are as a pit crew at the minute. Where are we coming out? We're going to be behind Gasly, being lapped there by a McLaren, it looks like. Oscar Piastri behind us, so it was Lando Norris who's lapped us. Well, that's Colapinto then, till the end now. And Maloney has got to go till lap 55. Real Madrid versus Arsenal tonight, indeed. That'll be a good watch. Although I have to watch my team on a Thursday night, but at least we've still got something. In United, we're still maybe going to have a chance of winning a trophy. That would be absolutely astonishing if we managed to nick it and get a trophy still this year. And we've got a red flag. What has happened? I can't see anyone out. It's Kimi Antonelli. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's a massive impact. He nicked the wall on the left. Kimi Antonelli.
And look at the team there. They all knew what that moment...
Right. Okay. Don't think we changed anything for Franco. They just lost out massively there because he's just stopped. But Maloney's got to be hards now till the end. I think we've got to switch him over. Oh, that was a big old impact. He nicked the left-hand Kimi, and it just sent him sideways into the other barrier. Looks like Max Verstappen's going to get us back underway. Charles Leclerc in second.
Away we go.
Overtake available.
And Maloney in P11 then. Stays in P11. Is everyone on hards? They're not. Maloney's up to 10th. Tsunoda's on softs. That could be good. Alonso's issues getting worse. Oh, Maloney's going round the outside of Carlos Sainz. Maloney's absolutely a firecracker at the start here, isn't he, around Monaco? Did this on lap 1, took 3 positions. And he's up to P9 here. Look at this. Great start. Started the restart P11. Got Stroll, and then it's got Carlos Sainz.
How do you like that?
We're loving it still, Zane. You keep asking the question. I appreciate it. Right, we've got to make these hards last, though. Antonelli out then. And could that open up the chance of points for us? There's a long way to go. But who knows now? Could be a real chance for us. Right, Colapinto.
Try to slow down a bit more now.
Russell's got a mechanical fault. Colapinto's having a bit of a horrible race here today, let's be honest. I don't want to burn up too much battery too early here. No way, I'm a United fan too. Good stuff indeed. Zane P10 now. Yeah, P9 now. We need in modern football players like Alan Smith, Leeds United, Man United playing with their heart on the sleeve. Yeah. Funny you said that. That was one of the matches I watched the other day with Alan Smith for United. Might have been his first game, or was one of his first games against Norwich. Lovely looping volley. And you just don't get it. You just don't get it anymore. Was that Hadjar on Colapinto there? I think it was. Hadjar going for the move on Franco. Hadjar's on the hards as well, and Colapinto into P16. I think we need to concentrate on Maloney though, because he's got a chance here potentially. But yeah, I don't know if I blame the players or not. It seems to be how they're coached. Are we going to get DRS? We're not. That's the only issue here. Choose a bit of battery coming out of his final corner. Carlos Sainz getting very close to us. He's pushing. Sainz on the hards as well. But he's using a bit more tyre life than us, so we've just got to hope that he punishes his tyres more. But if you're jumping into the stream, if you haven't already, do press that like button for me. Super appreciate it. It really helps me out. And if you like what you see, you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe and check out the playlists. All of the episodes so far in this series are there. There's 3 of those episodes and our Team Lotus series as well. Here comes Carlos Sainz again, but Maloney covers him off. And if you're watching on TikTok or Twitch, head to my profile in the bio. There is the YouTube link there. And as I say, all of our F1 Manager content can be found over there. So head over and subscribe. I saw a lad come through at Leeds. My eldest brother's a Leeds fan, and I've got soft sort of menu actually. Yeah, I was really glad when we bought Alan Smith. He's really good for United. He obviously got that awful leg break. Blocking a free kick, I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was just an impact injury, and it wasn't really the same after that. But yeah, probably there was much more skillful players, but Alan Smith was just one of those players, gritty, hard-working, wouldn't stop running. If you've got the right attitude and mentality, you go further than other players. So Maloney is hanging on to P9, Colapinto P16. One retirement, Kimi Antonelli. Russell's got an issue, Alonso's got an issue, Bortoletto's got an issue, so there might still be some drama here. Only actually halfway through this race. There is Fernando, catching him up. There's Colapinto down to 17th. He's having an absolute stinker, is Franco. Bortoletto is on softer tyres though, so he might have to stop again. Risa, John Arne Risa was it, and he could smash a free kick, couldn't he? He could absolutely lever it, John Arne Risa. Maloney's got a little bit of respite from Sainz. Briefly, at least. That 40 then, 38 to go. Can we sneak a point here today? Hamilton's still P5. If we look at the standings, Max Verstappen would take the lead in the Drivers' Championship if it stayed as it is today by 4 points over Lewis Hamilton. So very close between Lewis and Max in this 2025 season. And it might be tight all the way because, yeah, 20 races in this series, this season that we're doing. It's already race 7. Right, Maloney, let's just use another little bit of battery just to deploy out of there.
Okay, more charge, more charge.
Are we catching Alonso with Alonso's issue? Alonso's not got the pace of those ahead of him. Carlos Sainz thinks about the inside, can't do it. He's gaining so much with that DRS. Got 2% tyre life on him here, though. Califlag, you need the 8 in front to crash out to win. That would be nice. That would be. I might end the series though if that happens.
Yeah,
that
keep
would be
doing your best.
Imagine that, a new team on the grid wins within 7 races. But you never know, Alonso might not make it to the end here.
At the moment you are P9.
What's Alonso's issue saying now? His engine down to 26%, but slowly degrading, nothing too bad. I think he'll probably make it to the end, but it might get worse and worse.
Copy.
More charge, more charge.
Copy.
Right, Maloney then. Keeping Sainz at bay, but Sainz looks a lot closer this time. On the game, you can get a move done there on the inside. Not going to happen though. Come on, Zane. Sainz, Stroll behind though, is on the softs. Surely he's not going to... Can he get those to last? He might do. He's going to have to be conservative on them though.
Keep focus on your race now.
Maloney's 2 seconds behind Alonso, so not really catching Fernando. Maserati team sounds so Italian with the engineering talking. It's a nice change. Yeah, all of the back room, all of the engineering team, all of our staff are Italian, apart from the drivers. They're all Italian. Alright, here we go again. It'd be really handy to get to Alonso and just sit in his DRS. And we could probably just use that to see ourselves home and get a point. Well, 2 points where we are currently. This West Science gets really close. And again, we're safe from him. How's Franco doing back here? It's a bit of a lowly old race for Franco, isn't it? Half a second off. Bortoletto is really rinsing those tyres, though. Yeah, Gasly's got a mechanical fault now. I think we just let Colapinto do his thing. It'll be a bit of a difficult race for him. Mad how we're 18 seconds off the lead already. Such is the pace of the leaders. There's Fernando Alonso, though. We are getting a little bit closer. So we have a look at a Monaco through the lens of Zane Maloney then. Sainz continues to stay with us. But we're getting ever closer to Fernando. We might get a little bit of a toe off him here. Yeah, we're getting very close now. We might get DRS next lap.
No problem, no problem.
This is where you see Maloney, Monaco for what it is, just beautiful. Not the greatest of races in real life through Monaco at times, but seeing someone drive full pelt on a quali lap around Monaco is something to see, isn't it? Russell's mechanical fault getting worse now as well. Try and use a bit more battery through here just to see if we can get the DRS.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is good. This is good, Zane. Let's push up a little bit more.
Okay, do your best there.
He's going to be just shy of the DRS, I think, yeah. But now we're definitely going to get a nice, significant toe. There we go. Should be good now.
Alonso in front of you.
Should be good.
Do your best.
Yeah, the late April Fool's joke I was Elon Musk was going to buy them out. I said all the mafia families are investing in Ferrari. No way, am I right? Yeah. Yeah.
But this is what happened. Now this was at turn 1.
Franco Colapinto's made an overtake.
Begging to be taken.
Franco having an awful day at the back there. But he is through. But is this livery going to bring us some luck here with Zane Maloney? Yeah, and he's just through this part of the lap, though. He's struggling to stay with Fernando. Fernando's managing his tyres well. 85% on those mediums. He's conserving those, isn't he? Verstappen's got a mechanical fault now. It's all going on. Alonso, Russell and Verstappen all have got faults. Maloney surely has got DRS this time round. And he has.
Pull down a bit more on your tires.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, copy.
More charge.
Copy.
Mood race, okay.
Yeah, copy.
Bortoletto's dropping off Colapinto, so Bortoletto now struggling. Colapinto, where can he get to? He might be able to get up to 13th, I don't know, we'll wait and see. Look, Fernando's so quick through this middle section of the lap. Even with the issue Fernando's got, we're struggling to keep pace with him.
Keep focus on our race.
I've got 7% tyre margin on Carlos Sainz here. Just don't want to burn it out too quickly here. Carlos is right on us again though, isn't he? Carlos having another push.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Could do with DRS here. I don't think we got it though. Might be under a bit of pressure here. We've used the battery well out of there though. Santos, hi buddy, how's it going? Right, Maloney back to Alonso then. P9, is there a chance of points here?
Keep focus on our race.
We're hoping there is. Stroll down to 58% on his softs. They're going to start to become a problem for him. Maloney stayed closer to Alonso this lap. But Alonso, look, he is on light or conserve on those mediums. Actually, might be on standard because we have gone aggressive, to be fair, for a little while.
Try to go down as much as possible.
Copy.
Try to recover your previous rate.
Got DRS then on Fernando. I think we're going to be too far back to even think about a move though, but just nice to protect ourselves from Sainz. Stelios, thanks for the follow. Maloney having a look at the inside, audacious, but doesn't go for it. What happened to Lotus? We've wrapped up that series, so we've now got Maserati as our main series. But all of the episodes of that Team Lotus series can be found on YouTube. All 74 episodes. But they have run its course. % on Sainz, but we can't really push these tyres too much. 30 laps to go here.
You're doing a good job on tires.
Yeah, copy.
Maloney being coached through it by his race engineer. All lovely stuff, all very calm. And Stroll is just losing a bit of ground momentarily here. Which would be nice, because if we can get a buffer to Stroll, then we might secure at least 10th here. Maloney's got DRS again there. What we need is Alonso's issue to get worse and worse. Behrman and Bortoleto are going to have to stop again. Stroll, I think, is going to try and hang those tyres out. Because he's losing a second a lap now, so Stroll is trying to conserve the tyres. Now Tsunoda's going to have to stop again. That's going to be another position, isn't it? How far is Tsunoda up the road? Only 9 seconds. Tsunoda's going to have to stop. Use a bit of battery here because Sainz is really all over our gearbox there momentarily. Yeah, we should get back to Fernando here. Oh, will we? No. Yes, we did just get DRS.
Right then, you can take
And
a
as we
look
got
now.
DRS,
Here we
Colapinto's
are,
made
we're
another
looking at turn
overtake.
11.
Franco finally
gap
doing some
opens
work
up
at the
for
back.
them.
And he's through on Pierre Gasly. So Colapinto up to 15th. He's now 4 seconds off Isaac Hadjar. Good tyre margin on them though.
Yeah, keep doing your best.
Alright, Maloney. Sainz just seems to have much better pace than us, doesn't he? 10% tyre margin on him. Hulkenberg back in the pits. Finley, hello, how's it going? What about the crazy weather, Califax? Morning, it's freezing cold. It's 5 degrees, then warm midday, now freezing. Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? It's very much like that. All right, Alonso's pushed on down the road. Maloney, I'm going to stop trying to reach Alonso because I don't want to burn out my tyres.
We need to increase slightly a bit more the lift off.
Yeah.
We just manage this gap to Carlos Sainz. This is where Sainz gets really close to us. That's fine. Ocon's in the pits now.
Behind now.
Who did we say needed to pit? Tsunoda, didn't we? Tsunoda needs to pit. Anyone in front of Colapinto needs to pit? No. So Verstappen leads, Leclerc second, Norris third. So Alonso and Russell got issues, but it's not... Well, Russell might be coming backwards a bit here. What's Russell's issue? Gearbox, 23%. Last lap, Russell. Yeah, Russell's starting to go very slow. So Russell might be in more trouble than what Fernando is, because Fernando's going to catch George shortly. And that might bring about a bit of a DRS strain here.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Yeah, Alonso is now with Russell. And then we're going to join the back of it, so that's going to cause a bit of a DRS strain. Colapinto 3.8 behind Hadjar now. Got good tyre life on the two RBs. And Stroll's going to be Stroll's going to have to pit. He's not going to get them to the end. If not, he's going to be very slow. Colapinto might even have a chance to get up to 11th here. We'll wait and see on that. Let's just forward on. We'll monitor this gap to Carlos Sainz. Maloney's got DRS now on Alonso and Russell. So yeah, Russell, DRS train now. But Maloney has lost that DRS again. Behrman and Bortoletto into the pits. Just going to have to manage this quite a lot. Tsunoda into the pits then. Here we go. Where is Yuki going to come out? I'm pretty sure Maloney's going to be ahead of him here. Yeah, Maloney's already passed him. Tsunoda, is he going to be out in front of Colapinto? Yes, he should be. Yeah, he will be, won't he? He'll be up to speed by then. Well, I don't know. He will cut that first corner, but he'll be on much fresher tyres, so even if Colapinto gets past him, I think Tsunoda will probably get past Colapinto. Tsunoda back on some softs, so yeah. But Tsunoda, that's worked out awfully bad for him. And what it does do is it promotes Maloney now into P8. Anyone else got to stop now? Stroll has got to stop. And then some behind us. Hadjar and Lawson might have to stop, you know. Colapinto might be on the verge of the point shortly. Let's continue to push on with Maloney. Sainz getting very close again. Sainz won't go away, will he? 52. Sainz is going to have to ease off those tyres, though. There's no way he can even go on standard. There's 23 laps to go. This is us on standard, which will wear them out. So Sainz is going to have to give up on this fight at some point. I'm convinced of it. Just push Maloney down the road again. 22 to go. We've got a real good chance of points. What we don't want now at this stage is we don't want any red flags, safety cars. Virtuals won't be too bad. But we don't want any red flags or full safety cars now.
In front now you have Alonso.
Because that will neutralise the advantage we've got on some of these guys. Sainz down to 48%. Stroll 30%. Sainz is pushing his tyres way too hard. Doesn't bother me, but this is looking increasingly good. Maloney's got 5 seconds to Stroll. So even if Sainz got past him, he's in 9th by 5 seconds. Colapinto's keeping Tsunoda at bay. Tsunoda, I think, is too far back to get to Maloney and get past him, although it's still 21 laps, so we'll see. Maloney on Alonso. Russell looks like he's found a bit of pace. But this is looking very nice for us. We've already scored points early on in this series. By chance, are we about to do the same again? But Maloney is driving a perfect race, got to be said. Just got to keep it clean. And he's looking after his tyres well. And he's got DRS on Fernando. Stroll is in.
Keep focus on your race now.
So Stroll is in, and that will promote Colapinto up another place. Maloney's all over Fernando Alonso here, but he's not going to make the move. Yeah, Colapinto easily past Stroll then. And still keeping Yuki at bay, so that's frustrating Yuki Tsunoda. Colapinto now on to the DRS of Hadjar. Yeah, Lawson and Hadjar are going to have to pit as well here. Definitely. This is opening up very nicely for us at the moment. Colapinto all over Hadjar. Gonna have to get this done here. Hadjar's gonna peel into the pits in a lap or two though. He's gonna have to. What happened to Antonelli? Crashed out. Clipped the on the start finish straight. First corner, clipped the left hand wall, went straight into the barrier. Right, here we go. Franco, gotta get this done, gotta be aggressive. Ball's out nice and early. Can't be closed off now. Come on, Franco. Oh, that's it. Great work then from Colapinto. And Tsunoda has to filter in behind Hadjar. Is Hadjar going to block him off into this first corner? No, Tsunoda squeezes through, so that's unfortunate. But good work from Franco. And he's into P12. Sainz is still all over Maloney, isn't he? Sainz down. Sainz is pitting though. Sainz has absolutely cooked his tyres, so it doesn't matter. We don't need to fight Sainz now. Sainz is done for. And we've got 6 seconds to Lawson. Tsunoda probably is the main concern now for Maloney. The AI are absolutely cooking their tyres, some of them around here. Norris has now got a mechanical fault. 4 of the top 7 are struggling with issues. Here comes Sainz again. I'm not even going to use battery now because Carlos Sainz, it really doesn't matter if he gets past us now on 39%. Tsunoda does get past Colapinto. Kept him at bay for quite a few laps, but finally Yuki does it. He's going to get better traction out of there. And there he goes. So Yuki's on his way. Yuki is about 13, 14 seconds off Maloney though. Alright, Sainz can do what he wants because it really doesn't matter now.
Do your best.
He's absolutely cooked those tyres and he's going to have to pit. Or he's going to have to ease... No, I don't think they're too long to go for him to even ease off those tyres. What's his tyre life now? 35%. Yes, Sainz has got to pit. Lawson's got to pit. Absolutely cooked their tyres. David, thanks for the follow. I think we'll see Sainz come into the pits at the end of this lap. And Maloney is going to be breathing a sigh of relief. No, Sainz stays out. 32%, maybe at the end of this lap then. Hadjar is into the pits. And Lance Stroll is all over Colapinto. So Colapinto unlikely now to get up to the points. But Maloney has got a great chance. Is Sainz coming in? No, he stays out again. Down to 30% though. He's going to significantly drop off. We've broken the DRS to Sainz now. Oh, Maloney, just got to keep it clean now. And we don't want any drama. No red flags or safety cars. Sainz staying out again, 28%. I don't know why he's doing that. He's not going to get those to the end. 15 laps to go. And at the moment, Maloney is on course for some points here. Verstappen's problem is getting worse. That could open the door for Charles Leclerc for the lead of this race. Sainz is still not into the pits. Down to 27%. Colapinto is keeping Stroll behind him. Lawson's down to 25%. I don't know why they're going so long because they can't make them last. They're obviously hanging out for a safety car, which is not coming at the moment. Colapinto is all over Liam Lawson. We're actually past Lawson. I was going to jump on board because we needed to get that done. And it is done. Here we go. Colapinto getting Lawson.
Now this was in Casino Square. There's the opening.
Oh, we put Lawson between ourselves and Stroll as well for a couple of corners at least.
And the overtake is made.
Martin, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Back on with Maloney then. Sainz has dropped 8 seconds. I don't know what he's trying to do, but it's not going to work for him. He's still not into the pits, Carlos Sainz. And he's now got his teammate Albon and Tsunoda, and he's going to hold them up, and that's going to bring Colapinto towards them. Yeah, Colapinto gaining quite significantly on them here. Maloney got a bit of DRS there on Alonso. Sainz is on an absolute mad one here. Down to 22%. Lawson down to 20%. They're going to get punctures in a moment. Sainz has got to box this lap. He doesn't. What is Sainz up to here? 21%. Lawson 19%. He stayed out. Is he going to get a puncture? They're going to get punctures shortly. Right, that's brought Colapinto. There you go. Lawson's got a puncture. Told you that was going to happen. Oh, glitched through him there. I thought that was going to be a big accident, which we don't want. Lawson's got a puncture. Sainz is on his way to one. Colapinto is now right with them. Max Verstappen's about to lap us all. Sainz has done us a massive favour. It's 13 seconds. Maloney just needs to keep on the road, and we hope for no red flags. Verstappen's got to retire. Unless that's ERS. Verstappen might be boxing here to retire. He is. He's got to blow up. Max is out. Maloney's going up to P7. Max has blown up. His engine is gone. Sainz has stayed out for another lap. What is going on? It's all kicking off in Monaco. Is Colapinto going to squeeze into the points at this rate? Verstappen. There we see him. He's pulled in. His engine is gone. Verstappen is out. That could be massive. Lewis Hamilton was only in 5th. What is going on? Sainz has somehow still not got a puncture. Lawson pits finally. He's got back to the pits. 18% Carlos Sainz. But Maloney is, once he gets past the pit lane here, will be promoted to P7. Lawson is dead last. They were trying to hang it out for a safety car or a red flag. Hasn't happened, and there we go. Carlos Sainz's tyre has finally gone. And he's going to hold Colapinto up a treat here, isn't he? Oh, Colapinto and the leaders are getting in the way. This is all sorts of wrong. Oh, my God. Colapinto losing way too much time here. Sainz, get out of the way. Sainz is in. Colapinto is going to be in P10 here, I believe. Colapinto is up to P10. Stroll's got better tyres though, and he's on the soft tyre. Hadjar is right on us as well. But that's going to be tough for Colapinto. Just use a bit of battery, try and pull away, break that DRS. Let's go, points. Smaller flyer. Hello. Rango Nathan to Maserati next season, P7, baby. Because he's team needs a goat. Can we get Alonso? Yeah, I don't know about Fernando because he's just, when we get close to him, he pulls away. We'll give it another 3 laps and we'll have a push on Fernando. We've got 17 seconds, so we can certainly give it a go. Colapinto might have to hold on here. But Maloney if he keeps it on the road, is getting some points here. Let's just push for that fuel. Just trying to get Colapinto to the Ferrari so we could use a bit of DRS. I think it's going to be hard work, Colapinto. Stroll on the softs. Need him to use those softs a bit more so they drop off. Albon's down to 37% though, you know. He's got 5 laps yet. We could catch back up to Albon. That's not beyond the realms. Right, Maloney. Let's have a go. Let's have a go on Fernando. Could we get Fernando and could we get George Russell? We're not getting Hamilton. That's 40 seconds. Could we get P5 here? Well, the problem is Alonso's now in the DRS of Russell, so that's not going to help us. But Zane Maloney is currently on for 6 points here. Could he get up to 10 points? Right, DRS. Fernando's got DRS as well, although we are gaining quite significantly. He's going to close that off there as Fernando. As I say, on F1 Manager, you can sneak through on the left-hander up here. Let's see if Maloney's brave enough to give it a go. No. What we obviously don't want now is any mistakes.
Good job on tires at the moment.
5 to go. Maloney staying with it. We need Alonso to lose the DRS to Russell, which he has at the moment. He's lost it at the moment. But obviously not DRS until the back straight. So your Maloney is fighting for 5th whilst my one fights for around 13th. Yeah, I don't know how we found ourselves in this position, but I guess we had a lucky safety car. But Maloney has driven a solid race, to be fair. This would be mega though. Can we get Fernando Alonso here? Fernando's got no DRS. This is the moment, Maloney. DRS is good. Can we? Oh, there is room on the outside. Come on, Zane.
5 laps to go.
On the outside, Fernando squeezing, but Zane Maloney is through into P6. Unbelievable stuff here around Monaco.
Good job. At the moment, we have Russell in front. He's 2 seconds from you.
Colapinto holding on to that position from Lance Stroll. But Maloney is driven such a good race here. Russell down to 39%. We might be able to get George Russell here. Who knows? Colapinto needs to save a bit of fuel.
Copy.
Chat, keep an eye on my fuel because I can't be running out of fuel here today.
Lift off.
Copy.
And double points is a solid race. Zane Maloney, the man from Barbados, becoming the Maserati team leader for the future. He's doing big things. Now Russell overtake. Yes. That's what we're hoping for. 1.5 off George Russell. 4 to go. Leclerc looks like he's going to win this one with Verstappen retiring. McLaren taking big points in the constructors as well with a Red Bull and a Mercedes out. Right, Maloney, we don't want to burn those tyres out.
Try to cool down a bit more on your tires.
Colapinto trying to keep Stroll at bay. Stroll is starting to use more tyre life than us now, though. So that's good. Come on, Colapinto. Just hold on to that P10, baby. Oh, Stroll is very close this time. No, he can't do it, though. Right, Maloney. Getting ever closer to George Russell. 40 seconds back to Lewis Hamilton. Zane Maloney's engineer positive on that, right? He is, isn't he?
Use overtake.
3 laps to go.
3 laps to go.
Copy.
I mean, P5 would be absolutely big things here.
Lift off.
Copy.
Colapinto. Colapinto's 2 seconds off Albon. If he can get to him, it'll protect him from Stroll, and it might give Colapinto a chance at P8. P9, sorry. Trying to manage both drivers here in the closing stages. Right, Maloney, what are we saying? He's 1.4. He's getting ever closer, isn't he? Can we attack on these tyres? Let's have a go. Let's have a go.
Do your best.
2 laps. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go.
Push time. It is push time. I think we can push with both drivers, to be fair. Let's go. Maloney is within DRS of George Russell. Now we can save a little bit of tyre life just through here.
Try to go down as much as possible.
I do love the race engineer. He's a beautiful man in our ear.
Margin to reduce a bit the management. We can try to catch up.
Come on, Zane, we need that DRS.
Overtake available.
We need to get into that DRS. George down to 33%. George knows we're there. He's starting to try and push. But we're only going to get one chance here. And I think we're a little bit too far back on him. We will get
Keep
DRS.
focus on our race.
But we're going to be too far back, I think. Yeah, just too far back. Can we have an attempt up here? We are gaining. We're looking.
Copy.
We're looking. Zane Maloney, we're looking. Whoa. He thought about it.
We need some lift off.
Copy.
Leclerc has won it. Colapinto's finished because they've been lapped. Colapinto's got a point. Maloney is trying to hustle George Russell. But I don't think we'll have enough. George looks like he's going to hold on here. Yeah, there's not really going to be any more opportunities. Alonso's dropped 7 seconds back in the end.
No overtake now.
Battery is gone. We had a go. We had a big go, but somehow still we are going to pull off a double points finish, but it's going to be a massive, massive P6 for Maloney. Russell survives. He's going to finish P5. What a shout from the man from Barbados. And Zane Maloney finishes P6 in Monaco. And it's P5 for Colapinto. That is a double points finish for a car that doesn't quite yet have the performance to do that. But we got lucky with a safety car. We switched Maloney to a one-stop. And it's worked. An absolute treat there. Dupin, hello, buddy. Thanks for the gifts. Hope you're well.
Now, isn't that the kind of drive
Considering
we
where both
love
cars
to
were,
see
it's like a
from
win.
Charles Leclerc?
Yeah, it's an amazing result for us.
That was a really well-executed race, I thought.
Joshy, have you got
Major
Twitch?
credit
Yes,
to the driver,
streaming
the
on
pit
both,
wall, and
on
the whole team
TikTok,
for that
Twitch,
win.
and YouTube.
And you'd
A
love
Cali
to
flap
see
on
this.
all of those.
The whole team
Leclerc wins then
celebrating
because
this
Verstappen
magnificent-
retired right at the end. And then we go. Leclerc wins it. He's up 3. Well, all the top 3 up 3. Charles wins it. Lando Norris 2nd. Oscar Piastri 3rd. Hamilton 4th. George Russell 5th. Look at this. Zane Maloney up 9 places to finish 6th and get us a whopping 8 points. That's absolutely magnificent for where we are at the moment and early on in this series and season. Fernando Alonso 7th. Yuki Tsunoda 8th. He loves an 8th place in that Red Bull. Alex Albon held on for 9th. And Franco Colapinto somehow didn't look likely for him either. Up 7 places to nick a point at the end there. What has that done for the Drivers' Championship? Not very good news for Max Verstappen, I would assume. And it's not. He was going to be leading the championship. He's winning this race. He's leading the whole time. and he drops from what would have been first with those 25 points. He's now in third. So Hamilton leads the championship now by 10 points over his teammate Leclerc. Verstappen 23 points back. Oscar Piastri 24 points back. And Russell 27 points back. So 27 points between the top 5. Pretty tight indeed. Then we've got Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. No change in the top 10. Look at this. Zane Maloney up 4 places. He got a point in Suzuka and he's got 8 points here today. He's now in 11th place. Albon drops to 12th. Franco Colapinto, he also got 2 points in Suzuka in the sprint. So he now takes his tally to 3 points. And Stroll is down 2. Carlos Sainz down 1. Carlos Sainz tried to hang those tyres out for a safety car at red flag that never came. In old money, that used to be the points for second once, that 8 points. Yeah. What was it? 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1? 10, 8, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, wasn't it? Yeah, I think. For top 6. Then did it change to the top 8? And then we got to a top 10. Constructors, what does that do then? Ferrari building quite a nice little lead, but McLaren did get a second and third place, so they keep pressure on them, and they're in second. Mercedes only gained 10 points, but that's enough with Yuki only finishing 8th and Max retiring. So Mercedes and Red Bull starting to fall off the top 2. Aston Martin, as we said, in this middle ground in 5th. But somehow we are now in 6th place and 12 points. 12 points after 7 races in the first season, and we started with the lowest car, don't forget, still on this series. Started with a bit more money on this one rather than our Team Lotus series, and a little bit better facilities. But in terms of car performance, still started as the poorest car. So 12 points after 7 is absolutely amazing. Williams dropped to 7th. Alpine, RB, Kicksauber and Haas yet to score. Did we do anything in pit stops? We did. We even got a 5th place there. 10 points for Franco Colapinto's 2.5. And that brings us up 2 places to 8th in the DHL. We should have well and truly met our sponsorship finish. We did. And perhaps we need to keep with this livery. That's obviously brought us good luck, the new livery today, hasn't it? But that was a surprising race. Was not expecting us. Well, I thought being Monaco, there might be a sneaky chance of the odd point, but not. 8 points for Maloney. That's magnificent. But that is going to bring this one to a close. If you haven't already, before I go, do smash that like button. Really helps me out. But as always, thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the comments, like, and support. All of the gifts. It's super appreciated. As I say, we do stream this every Tuesday and Friday, but I am actually on holiday from Friday, so I won't be streaming this Friday or next Tuesday. I'll be back a week on Friday, so the next stream will be Friday the 18th, but we will have 4 episodes dropping on YouTube in my absence. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube already, you can do that straight away, and you can check out the Maserati playlist. If you're on Twitch or TikTok, head to my profile in the bio, click the YouTube link, subscribe over there, and as I say, we'll have an episode coming out on Thursday, and then we'll have 2 episodes next week, 3 episodes actually next week as well. So make sure to subscribe. Let's say I'm off for a week, so enjoy your weekend, enjoy Bahrain. I'm sure it's going to be better than Japan, and we'll be back to stream the next episode, next race